Security has been a concern for Salesforce. I mean, every client I talk to, they do have a concern of security, and that is, you know, valid also, because so far they have been maintaining or putting the data into their local server. Now they are putting data onto cloud. So cloud means you have concern from external as well as internal users. The concern is not just about the data theft, or someone who's not authorized to log in, if he will log in or not. That is not the only concern. The bigger concern, or let's say a more valid concern, is for the internal users. People who have been given the login ID password, are they going to misuse it intentionally or unintentionally? I mean, it's not that everyone will intentionally do it, but can they unintentionally misuse it? So that is the point, right? So if you have given the login ID password to someone and this guy is actually sitting in a cyber cafe and using your Salesforce account, right? So for that reason, the concern is from both the sides. So Salesforce actually provides some measures to restrict the users from logging in from anywhere, anytime, right? So Salesforce puts a restriction, allows you to put a restriction on time and IP address of the user. So an administrator can put restrictions in terms of what time the user can log in and which all IP addresses he can log in from. Got it? So this is there. Now, how this time and IP restrictions are put in Salesforce? Let's say you are the administrator. I'm just giving you the mechanism. How exactly it is changed in Salesforce, that we will discuss a little later. But let's say you are the administrator. There is a certain team which works from 9 to 6, and you don't want that team to actually go and make changes to the data after 6 p.m. Maybe because that is after that shift gets over, and you don't want to do, you don't want to allow anyone to make any changes or even see the data after that, because the shift gets over and you don't want them to use Salesforce after that. You can restrict the users to log in only from 9 to 6. No one will be allowed to log in after this. This is one. Second thing is IP address. What is IP address? In case you do not want the users to log in from any IP address and from anywhere, you just want them to log in from your company, right, or from your office premises. What you can do is you can define a range of IP addresses. It's usually a range which is defined. You have the option of defining the IP ranges, saying that allow the user to log in from these IP ranges. Let's say you're in your office, the IP ranges 7 to 10. Just give an example. Then they can only log in within these IP ranges. Okay, so this is again one more option which you have, which means the moment they try to log in from an external IP address, it will be, there will be additional security required or additional authentication required by the user. Got this? So these are the two things which will help you restrict the users from logging in from any place or anywhere or any time. Got it? Now how this logic works. Let's see how this process works when you try to log in. How does Salesforce check whether you are the right user and you are logging in from the right place or not? Let's get into that part. Yes. So here we are. So this process is called security and identity confirmation. Now, what is the security and identity confirmation? The process of Salesforce to identify the user, okay, and confirm whether the user is authorized to log in or not. So it's pretty simple. There is a login attempt which is made by the user, okay. After login attempt, first thing that the Salesforce performs, it goes and does the time check, right? It sees if the user is restricted by the time to log in or not. If he is restricted, what time is he allowed to log in? So that is the time check part. Here, so first is the login attempt. The user makes, the first thing that happens after the login attempt is the time check. Salesforce at the back end will go and check whether you are allowed to log in during that time or not. If you are not allowed, your login authentication will fail and your access will be denied. Okay, you cannot log in any time which is not permitted to you, and this is set by your administrator. Salesforce.com as a company has nothing to do with it, right? And this time restriction is again not a mandatory thing, it is an optional. Like I have worked with most of the clients who do not put time restriction on the clients, on their employees, right? Because most other companies have that tendency of asking the employees to work after their shift gets over. I mean, stretching is common practice. So no company actually goes by that. You just work till 6. If they put time restriction, again the employee will not be able to work after the regular shift time, right? So that is the reason why they don't do it. But this is an option which is available in case you feel that you are giving login ID password to someone. Maybe think of it. If not your employee, if there is an external consultant who comes to your office and sits and works on things from your office. Now, external consultant, you don't want them to actually go back and work on your office login and all those things after he leaves the office, after he leaves your office premises. In that case, you can do this thing. So time check, if it fails, access is denied. If it clears the time check, if it finds that okay fine, the user is trying to log in at a time which is allowed or permitted, it moves on to the other level of check, which is IP check. So in the IP, it will just go and check whether the user is trying to log in from the trusted IP or at IP which is not trusted. Okay. If you are logging in from trusted IP, you will clear the authentication process and you will be allowed to log in. But if you are trying to log in from some other IP address, then it will take you to another level of check, which is cookies check. Now in cookies check, you have to, the Salesforce basically goes and checks in your browsing history. So it goes and checks your internet browsing history to find out whether you have logged in using that account earlier or not. If you have done that, then it's fine. It will allow you to log in. If you have not done that, like in your cookies, if it does not find that you have earlier logged in using the same login credentials, if it does not find that, then it will again fail and you will require to receive an activation code on your email to log in. Got this thing? But in the cookies check, if Salesforce finds that you have logged in from that computer or that IP address earlier also, though it is not trusted, but still you have logged in, let's say yesterday you logged in using the same credential, then it will not trouble you. Then it knows that okay fine, this was authenticated one day back, so it will consider that, clear the test, and you will be allowed to log in. But if that fails, it will ask you to get an activation code on your email. Did anyone get this kind of an error while logging into your development mode? Activation code required kind of thing. Well, just 2 days you have been using your developer edition, but did you get that message?
Yeah, Jeet, I got it for the first 2 days, I guess.
So the point is, yeah, people who are using it from the same laptop or the same IP will not get it, but the moment you try to log in from a different computer or something, you will see it will ask you that. Got it?
Yeah.
So that thing is there. So this is our security and identity confirmation. So as an administrator, what you have to understand that these are two restrictions you can put on your users. As an end user, what you have to understand that this is the process how it works. Okay. So in case you are into a restriction of the time limits, or you are into an IP range restriction, you should always understand how it works. So that is one thing. Second thing is, do you notice one thing here, that the time check thing is pretty clear and straightforward. If you are not within the time check, you are not allowed to log in. But for IP address, you see, there are a lot of alternatives which Salesforce from their side are allowing. If you are not in the right IP range, you get another option, second option, then you get a third option, right? In time check, see, there is no other option. Fail, gone. Here IP check, fail goes to cookies check, fails goes to activation. Can anyone of you just think and tell me why that might be the reason? Why is Salesforce so particular about the time part and a little lenient on the IP address thing? A quick thought on that. Anyone? Right. Chetan says we can use Salesforce through any device, right? Yeah. My point is that can you please mute your microphone? Yeah. My question is that why do you think Salesforce, we have seen that we can put restriction on the time and IP address, right? If you look into this flow chart, this time restriction, if it fails, the access is denied. And if IP address fails, it still gives you second option. That too fails, it gives you third option. Why is it being so nice in terms of that IP address thing? It's a very simple logic there, and this logic is that your Salesforce, the biggest advantage of Salesforce is what? The flexibility of location. It does not restrict you to a location, right? If it is very strict on the IP address, then what will happen? Then your cloud-based solution will be as good as a local server. The biggest problem with the local server is that only, right? That it cannot be accessed from anywhere else. If Salesforce securities and the restrictions are that strict, then what would happen? People will not be able to log in from the outside IP at all. So what they have done, they have done a two-way thing. They have allowed you to put restriction, but for that they have given certain exceptions also. So if you have earlier logged in into from that particular computer or IP address, you will still be allowed. That sort of thing, right? So that is why we have our time check and IP check. Clear on this? We are fine. Okay. Now, this is one place where you can use the security token as well. You see, if you are logging from an external IP address or IP address which is not trusted, there is such a long process which takes place, right? Now, in case you are aware that tomorrow you are logging from a location which is not trusted, understand it carefully. In case you are aware of the fact that tomorrow you are going to a client location, or you are going to your to a different city, and you will need to log in into Salesforce from an IP address which is not trusted, in that case you should get a security token. Got that? So if you combine the security token with the password, then what will happen? Then all this test will not happen. Security token will, take care of all these things. If you're putting security token, then it does not go and check the IP address. It knows that, okay, fine, you are a valid authenticated user, you can log in from anywhere. So that is the advantage of security token. Got that thing? So in case you want to spend time into all this check happening and activation code generation and then putting that, take the security token, put it there along with the password. It needs to be combined with the password. So if your password is 123 and security token is 568, then you need to combine 123 568 together in the password, nothing else. You just need to get the security token. And how do you get the security token? Security token is my personal settings, right? Sorry, my settings. Here it is, reset my security token. So the moment you click on reset my security token, it will send you a security token. As I said, you 21-digit alphanumeric key will be sent to your email ID. You just have to, at the time of logging in, you just have to combine it with your password. See, this is how you need to combine. If your password is this and security token is this, in the place of password you need to enter this thing. And this will take care of your IP address and all. Okay. Priyanka says she has a query. I heard that Salesforce is used even on our mobiles, for which IP address need not be in the limits. So what happens in that case? Yeah. Okay, she got the answer. That's good. So if you are thinking that security token is the answer, that is one option, and the other option is once your mobile gets authenticated, you don't need it every time. The security token is also not required every time, because you see what we have done here is cookies check also happens, right? So this cookies check actually works for your mobile also. So the device gets authenticated once. After that, you can keep on continue to log in into that, and every time you don't have to put the security token. First time you have used it, it gets authenticated. Post that, you can just keep on using it. So that's about our security and identity confirmation. Now coming to the understanding of this flow of the tabs, or how the data flows from one end to the other end, right? For understanding this, I will just take the help of a small case study. Give me a moment, let me share this case study with you. Okay, here we are. So you all can see my screen, right? Let's read this case study, and this is just a small thing, small activity kind of thing. We'll do that activity together so that we can understand each and every tab there. Okay. So it says ABC Limited is a newly established company into the business of manufacturing and selling laptops. They sell only to corporates. Fine. So there is this company called ABC Limited. It's a newly established company and they sell only to corporates. So this company, what do? They just sell to corporates. They do not sell to individuals. Okay. They have already manufactured laptops. So let's say they have manufactured a few thousand laptops and they want to start the sales and marketing process. Sales and marketing has not yet started, needs to be started. They are looking for a sales and marketing team that can suggest them a suitable sales and marketing process. You are one of the shortlisted teams. Let's say our team. We all are in a team and we are the shortlisted team. And you are required to propose a sales and marketing process to them, and based on the process you recommend, you will be hired. That's ultimately what we have to do. We have to understand that there is this small company ABC Limited which plans to manufacture the laptops and sell it to corporates, not to individuals. And then the manufacturing part is over, so that is something that we don't need to worry about. This company has asked us to propose a solution of how should they start their sales and marketing process, right? So let us understand this thing. Now, we are a team and we have to propose a solution. So what do you guys think? What should be the first thing that we do from here? We have been asked by this laptop company to start their sales and marketing process. So what will be the first thing that we need to do?
We should put some price for the laptops.
Pricing is done. Manufacturing is done. Pricing is done. Before we start selling it, what should be our first thing to do? Okay. Understanding the client requirement. Client requirement is pretty simple. They just want us to sell the laptops for them. Yeah, Hemant says advertise. Okay, so just tell me one thing. Will we start directly selling the laptops, or will we need to do some sort of advertisement also? We'll have to let people know, right? This is a new company, as I said, new company into the business of this, and they have not sold yet. First time they have manufactured the laptops, and the sales and marketing process needs to be started. First thing, you'll have to create awareness, right? That okay, we sell laptops, we have these laptops and all, right? So for that, what we will do, we will first of all advertise. So I will take what Hemant said. That's correct, right? Advertise or promote or market, whatever we call it. So that needs to be done, right? So we will get into that one. So first thing that we need to do is we need to do the campaigns, marketing campaigns. What kind of campaign? That depends. It can be an ad on a newspaper, it can be an ad in a magazine, it can be a hoarding, it can be a television ad, but overall what we have to do, we have to do a campaign. So now so this case study everyone is clear on, right? Everyone has read this. Now let's go into Salesforce and think from the perspective of this company and understand these steps. So first thing that the business would do is they would plan to do certain campaigns. Let's say we plan to do a campaign which is a series of ads. Okay, let's say television ad. You plan to do television ad. So whatever campaigns you do, everything needs to be tracked in your CRM. Do you feel that it's important to track everything on all the campaigns in the CRM? Yes, we do so. We understand that it's important for us to store information of all the campaigns. Why is it important? So that you can understand which campaigns are successful, from which campaign you are getting more business, which are the campaigns from where you are not getting business, right? So all those campaigns need to be tracked in CRM. So here we are. All the campaigns will be tracked under campaigns tab. So whatever promotional activities the company is doing, those need to be tracked under this tab or this object, campaigns object. So let's say new. And the company will not do just one kind of campaign, they keep on doing a lot of types of campaigns. So whatever campaigns are there, they need to track it here. So we are talking about telemarketing. Yeah. Let's say we are doing telemarketing. So different types of campaigns you can select. Okay, make it an active campaign. If the campaign, what is the status of the campaign? What is the start date? Let's say it will start from 22nd August and it will go till 14th August 2015. That's fine. And you are expecting to generate a revenue of, let's say, 1300,000. And your budgeted cost for this is 30,000. Fine. So this way, what all campaigns you are doing, you can track all those things here. So campaigns tab is basically meant for tracking the campaigns or these promotional activities. Fine. Whatever fields you see here, we can customize. So I think I told you in the first session itself, whatever we see here, everything can be customized. And not just these things. The fields that you see here, you can have more fields. You can have additional fields and all. Gradually we'll learn that. So, every company can have their different set of information. Some companies might want some other information on this campaign to be tracked. So based on the requirement, these fields can be increased. The values which you see inside this drop down, this can also be customized. How it can be done, that is something which we'll do later. Right? If you want to create a category for television ad, you can do that. So the type of campaigns that you do, you can customize these things based on that. If you don't do conference webinar, instead you do some other types of campaigns, you can include those things. Right? So everything can be customized from here, but let us now just understand the logic. So all the campaigns will be tracked here. So let's say this is a campaign series of ads, done, which starts from 22nd August then till 14th August. So whenever you are doing a campaign, you will start receiving certain inquiries or leads through that campaign. Happens, right? When you have a campaign, you start receiving some leads, inquiries through that campaign. So here we are. The series of ads campaign is created. Now let's say I received an inquiry and I received it through this ad, because of this ad. Now that lead I have to enter here, and while entering the lead I need to connect that lead with the campaign. Let's say the person who inquired about the product is Mr. Ajay Kumar. Ajay Prasad or some name, and this guy is from Wipro, for example. Let's say he's a sales manager. Okay, connect him to the campaign. Okay, so good practice is Though this is not mandatory. Only the fields which are marked red, those are mandatory. This is not mandatory. It's an optional thing, but still, it's a good practice to connect every lead to a campaign, so that at a later point of view you can, at a later point of time, you can do an analysis on how many leads did you generate from a campaign. The success of the campaign will be measured on this only, right? How many leads were generated out of that, how many were converted, right? So connect it to the campaign. Click on this. Okay. So I got this lead from this campaign. Then put our details and all, save it, right? So in this leads table, you can track the leads. So leads table actually allows you to track the first name, last name, company, and all these things. Again, the fields can be customized here. But primarily what a lead is doing, it saves the information of an individual and a company. Got it? So Mr. Ajay Prasad or Mr. Suresh Prasad is someone, let's say, from Wipro who inquired. Okay, so now this is a prospect, right? This was whatever leads come, you will put it in leads. But this is a prospect, right? And you feel you should follow up and then try to sell to this lead, right? Now, for example, Anuj is the sales rep in our company. Anuj calls Mr. Suresh Prasad, asks him about his requirement, right? And the moment he starts asking him about the requirement, Mr. Suresh Prasad says that, okay, I am the sales manager, I have inquired about this product, but I am not the decision maker. Very much possible, right? In corporate, what happens? One department has the requirement, but there is another department which is the decision maker. I mean, someone else will make the decision, someone else does the procurement, right? So this guy says that, okay, I might have raised an inquiry, but I am not the decision maker. So why don't you contact the other person who is a procurement head, right? So he tells you the name of another person. Let's say he says go and contact Mr. Ramesh Prasad. Who is the procurement head. Now, where do we put information related to Mr. Ramesh Prasad? If you put it in a different lead, then these will be two different records and there will be individual records, no connection between them. So in that case, what we will do, once we have authenticated the lead, once we know the lead is valid, then we will convert the lead. Converting a lead basically breaks the lead into account, contact and opportunity. So the company information will go into account, individual's information will go into contact, and the business information, the deal information will go into opportunity, right? At this point of time in the lead, both the things are being tracked together, the individual and the company thing. But the moment you feel that the lead is valid and it has been authenticated, you got to break it into account, contact and opportunity. So to break the lead, you don't have to do anything, it's very simple. It's very simple. You just need to click on convert. On the lead, just click on convert. The moment you click on convert, you will see that you have this option of creating an account name, and there will be a contact which will be created automatically. Okay. So just click on convert. That's it. Now if you notice here, it has created an account called Wipro. So automatically, the records have been created, one Wipro account has been created, and if you scroll down under this, there is a contact Suresh Prasad which has been created under this, and there is an opportunity also created. Okay, so the advantage is now you can put more details about the company here, like website, industry, number of employees, annual revenue. So this account is the table which is meant for this, for storing company information, right? Now you can put all the details related to the company here, and all the details related to the contacts here. If you want to add new contact, you can add that. Let's say Mr. Ramesh Prasad. Add that contact here, click, and all details related to the contact will come here. Put all those things here, save it. So now you have the option of adding multiple contacts under the same account, right? Okay, so company related info goes into account, individuals info goes into contact. What comes into opportunity? Opportunity holds the information of the DD. Okay, what is the amount, when is it expected to be closed? So this is the opportunity which got created just now. So what is the amount you are expecting? What is the business size that you are expecting from them? 50,000. By when they are planning to close, they say we will close it by 30th September. Because these are the information, typically deal related information. Has got nothing to do with the account or contact. But when are they planning to buy the product? How much amount you are expecting to generate from there? So that sort of things. Alright, so this is what we have here. So we have the amount, we have the deal related information into opportunity, and opportunity has a field called stage. If you see this, so stage keeps on marking the status of the opportunity. Like initially what stage it is into, then you will keep on changing the stage as per your discussion goes, because these are corporate sales, so these might not happen on a single day, might take time. So the moment you keep on getting some updates from the client, you can keep on updating the stage. Finally, either you will win the deal or you will lose the deal, right? Closed won or closed lost. This thing can also be customized. You might not have these many steps in your business, you might have 2-3 of them, or you might have 20 of them. So you can customize the stages also. Got this? So closed won means you have got the deal, closed lost means you have not got the deal. Forecast we will learn how to do. So forecast is basically used for doing the forecast for future sales and all. This we will not talk about now. We will talk about it later. Okay. The moment you have won an opportunity, the next thing will be what? There will be contracts. Okay. So the contracts need to be tracked here. This is the table for tracking all the contracts. Okay, and you can connect the contract to the account name. In our case, we will connect it to the Wipro, right? Customer signed by, who is the customer who signed it? What is the contract start date? What is the term of the contract? How many months? It's a 12 months contract. So details of the contract can be written here. Save it. After contract, next thing that you will do is take up the orders, right? So order related details need to be put here. Again, the order start date, when does it start, contract number, it is connected to which contract, this is a contract, right? So this order is pertaining to this contract. all the order related details need to be tracked here, right? Then there is another table for cases. Once you have sold some product to the client will have their queries and complaints and everything. So all those queries, complaints need to be tracked under cases. Okay, this is where you will track those things. After this part is done, once you track the cases, case again has a stage or status kind of thing, whether the case has been just logged in or it has been resolved or is it pending and all. So status of the case, new, working, escalated, got it? So is it a high priority or is it low priority? So these things can be done, right? Open cases, closed cases. So cases is an object for tracking all the customer complaints, right? Let's say we sold the product to Wipro and after a few days Suresh Prasad complained about some of our product. So we'll raise a case, define the subject. Let's say he came back to us said that monitors are not working and he gave us some description. We'll take it, right? So all these customer complaints need to be tracked here. Solution is okay, mandatory field missing. Okay. Solutions is the object for tracking all the predefined solutions. Okay, so in case there are any predefined solutions kind of things, that will be tracked under solutions. Can you just give me 1 minute? Oh, hello. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So solution is the object where you track all the predefined solutions. Predefined solutions means some customer queries which are very common in nature. Those can be listed under the solutions, right? Why these are listed under solution? Let's say your customer support team is trying to help a client, and the client is asking for some question, and it's a simple thing. Rather than raising a case, if he can find a solution to that, he can propose it directly, right? So that sort of thing. And then there is this object product. Product is for listing your products. Let's say you have different models or different range of product that can be tracked under this products thing. So you can just go, like for we are talking about laptop. So laptop can have different models, right? Some high-end models, some basic models and all. So those things can be tracked here. Again, if you are just looking into this part, this is just basic fields which have been provided by Salesforce. Other fields you can add. So depending on what kind of product you have. If you have something like laptop, you might have a lot of fields here, Bluetooth enabled or not, or whatever this Wi-Fi is there or not, and all those things can be there. Right? Technical specs can also be included as fields in this, right? So that is the thing. Now tell me, are we clear on this? Yep. Okay. So now the flow is clear. Report dashboard and this client and project are nothing. I mean, this is not there in your edition. These are something that I have created custom made. Report dashboard and forecast is what we do not have there. sorry, we do not have only the data to be entered into this. We have to generate these reports and dashboards and forecasts. So this is something that we'll talk later. At this point of time, we're not going to talk about that, but otherwise we have seen the entire flow of how the data flows from one end to the other end. Okay. All right. So that is what we have to discuss today. Tomorrow, once we connect, we will talk about our data model and the data management stuff, right? So how do we deal with the bulk data, and we will also understand how do we design our own data model. So I've been talking about customization. So how do we get into customization? Now we understand the base thing. We'll get into the customizations. Fine. Fine then, let's connect tomorrow, same time, and